I'm Dan McFadyen, co-founder and director at SkillsAware, and also a co-founder and the managing director at Edalex. And it's my great pleasure to be joined today by Yasmin King and Mark Keough.
We came up with a couple of visions. One was to try and match learning and jobs by sort of looking at skills. So that vision for me started in 2000. And in 2000, believe it or not, so this is 24 years ago, we hired a couple of Australians who came across, and they brought with them the Australian training package system. And we started to look at how we could use that as big data to try and match the very confusing language of skills in jobs and skills in learning. So I've been trying to get this problem solved for more than 20 years. And I've looked at lots of technologies, lots of issues, and it's really nice to be here today. The journey's taken me through blockchain as a credential validation idea, and then I rejected that because it's too hard to get. It's like herding sheep, getting people to work on standards-based skills statements, right? Everyone's got a slightly different view of what skills are, and it's a global problem. So there is no standardized approach to skills. So the breakthrough has been, so this idea has been around for a long time, but the breakthrough has been artificial intelligence and particularly large language models, which allow us to take disparate language and find a harmonious standard where we can share information and find a common language. And that's what we're doing at SkillsAware. We're finding a common language for skills without throwing out all the other language everyone uses to describe skills.
Basically, we didn't believe that there was a skills training problem. We believed there was a skills recognition problem, and it particularly stemmed from the work that we'd done, particularly in the community care sector, where, you know, there are a lot of extremely experienced people, but they don't have any qualifications. You know, that's partly their age. It's partly because, you know, they tend to come from lower socioeconomic backgrounds because they're poorly paid, highly casualised female workforce, so don't have the opportunities. So there's a really big equity issue as well. And, you know, these are people who get to work with vulnerable people, and that was a massive concern to us, that quality wasn't being factored in. And yet you had other people who had all of this experience and were, you know, basically, you know, not even being considered if they wanted to move jobs because they had no qualification.
So yes, at Edalex over the past coming up on 9 years, we've been focused in the skills space, and we develop platforms that enable skills definition. So with OpenRSD, we have what is now the world's largest open library of these rich skill descriptors, atomic level definitions of skills to ensure that we are speaking the same language, which has already been referenced. So that's critical. And then skills development with the open source Open Aquila platform, and then Credentialate, which discovers and shares evidence of skills from learning. And those platforms together combined help support the recognition and the discovery of skills. And so we're starting to see these threads come together from Mark's 20+ year vision for this. Yasmin, your deep experience in the sector and discovering the need for skills recognition, and for us at Edalex, we strongly believe in giving a voice to learners for their own skills.
It was because we all came with a lot of foundations to build upon and to put together. So you know, and it's been, you know, not much sleep over the last little while, but I think it's exciting because I think it isn't technology or a service trying to find a market. We are addressing a real problem that exists. And I just think we've been fortunate enough to find the right people to come together to actually solve it.